plus 175% explosion damage, plus 4% explosion size for every 1 elemental damage. So basically, we're gonna have really big, really strong explosions, which means this should get pretty wild. Also, I was playing with the enemy sliders a little bit because I didn't know they existed. I think they're weaker than normal, but I can't remember where I left them. To start, we're gonna take some luck, then we're gonna take another plank because that's more explosive, and the more explosives we have, the bigger they get naturally. And then we're definitely gonna take a second shredder because we're already getting an extra 10% explosion size on top of the characters. We're also gonna save that because we're gonna get more enemies. And I need to remember that we need to add elemental damage just so we can get bigger explosions. I want nuclear-sized explosions. I want beyond nuclear-sized explosions. Wave 2 was no problem, 50 easy dollars. Places like this are probably where I should be adding elemental. There's plus 1 elemental. So already that's plus 4% explosion size, plus we have all of this good stuff. I'm going to take, not that. I don't know why I just clicked on that. I've had too much coffee. I wanted the experience. For now, we're going to take a plank because I'm stupid. This is why I can't have nice things. My weapons currently have a chance to explode. It's not overly big yet, but it'll get there. Eventually, everything's going to explode, and the explosions are going to be the entire screen. And who doesn't like big explosions? Everyone loves them. Wave 3 was done, no problem at all. Can we get anything? We could use a little bit of harvesting. Then we're going to take more XP. We're just going to lock that, but we will do a few cheap rerolls to hopefully get, there we go, dynamite already, plus 15% explosion size. So they're already getting pretty big, which is really good for clearing out idiots. I don't know if different weapons have different explosion sizes or not. I've never really explored that. I just know everything blows up and then I feel good. Wave 4, obviously no problem at all, especially with the weak enemies. Not getting a lot of elemental damage here. We'll take some HP for now and then probably some armor because that's just going to be needed. Bigger explosions, more enemies, more everything. And there's another plank. So our explosions are 20% bigger, plus whatever the character adds is an extra... Okay, so an extra 12% size there. That's 32 already, plus the TNT, so it's an extra like 40% explosion size already, at least. So by the end of this, if we could just have all rocket launchers, that would be great, because they would destroy absolutely everything. It's probably worth it already to start combining my weapons though, because I'll have a higher chance to have exploding bullets, and that just sounds like something we need. We need more explosions. What I don't need is 3 range damage. On any other run, I would love that. For now, I want elemental. Or maybe just HP. Okay, so I'm going to buy that, and then we're going to combine those two together, and then we're going to combine those two together, and then we're going to combine those together. Now I have a level 3 plank. 35 chance to explode on hit. I'm also going to take another shredder. We're going to combine those, and we're just going to get more explosions this way. And we're going to buy that, and another dynamite already. Luck so far is favoring me, but perhaps now we won't find any rocket launchers. Either way, we're going to get big explosions. There's no stopping us now. And the explosions are already really big. Like when they do go off, they do tend to kill everything in the neighborhood. So just imagine when they get bigger, they're going to kill everything in the whole city, then the country, and then the whole world's going to blow up every time I fire my gun. There's plus 1 elemental damage. I'll take that all day long. Then we're probably going to take some luck. We're definitely going to take plus 15% explosion size. We're going to get as many of those as we possibly can. And I'm very much not used to looking for elemental up here, so I'm going to have to pay extra attention to grab them when I see them, because I normally completely ignore them. Well, there's 2 more shredders we can use to upgrade into all sorts of great things. Actually, we're going to combine those 2, and there's a level 3 shredder. I wanted that because it's got an 80% chance to explode on hit, so it's constantly going to be exploding, and it's going to be really big explosions, which is just going to kill everything. And this is going to work really well for lots of these low-level idiots. The stronger enemies will figure out how to deal with them later. Because if I'm seeing this correctly, the explosions are going for 31 damage currently, which isn't a ton, but it's definitely adequate, especially considering how many things they hit. So we have overlapping giant explosions. Everything should melt anyway. There was more things alive at the end of that wave than I would have liked. We don't need any of that. And no elemental. Speed would be nice, luck would be nice. We're going to roll 1 more time and 2 elemental damage. We're getting very lucky with items so far. I'm going to take a level 3 plank and then also cheaper items. I'm not going to bother with a level 1 shredder. We should be able to find RPGs soon. I'm going to combine these 2 into a level 4 plank. Does 57 damage. It's only a 40% chance to explode on hit, but that's a pretty good 40%. My character bonus is currently at a 24% bigger explosions. So combine that, and if we get another 3 explosive weapons, that'll give us more natural character bonus. Could maybe use some attack speed too. I thought maybe if we just fired the occasional big explosion would work, and it probably will, but maybe faster explosions too, just to help clean up the idiots. But I'm just winging this just as much as you are. Lots of good stuff here. The luck is starting to pay out. Nothing that I necessarily love though, so I'll take some luck. Speaking of luck, there's a level 3 shredder, there's another plank, and there's another shredder, so now we get back to the 25% explosion size here. Landmines are also probably going to be pretty good because they explode. No, they deal engineering damage. They're bad. We will spawn more trees though. Alright, so yeah, you can see the big white explosions now are definitely getting bigger quickly. They're taking out whole hordes of idiots. And we should have more explosions going off now that we have more explosive weapons naturally. So we're going to clear this out a little bit better than we did before. This is more the progress I was looking for, where we just kind of clean the entire board and pick up all those upgrades. Even the big guys didn't last very long. Now we need to start getting some RPGs. 6 legendary RPGs would feel pretty good right about now. So we'll see if we get just that lucky. And so far I'm really liking this. And these are just going to get bigger and bigger. We just got to add elemental damage. A piggy bank would be nice too, so we can get rich, but a piggy bank would always be nice because it's always nice being rich. Okay, not taking any of that. It really wants us to get engineering. We don't really have a lot of armor yet, so we'll take a little bit of that. And elemental damage. Hello? Do you just not exist anymore? Oh, armor modifications are reduced by 50%. Oh, so we really are relying just on explosions. There's the piggy bank I was asking for, so we're also going to roll that forward into greater things. We're going to combine those two, and we're going to buy that. And I'm going to let the piggy bank start doing a little bit of heavy lifting. That's going to make us lots of money, so by the end of this, we're going to get nuclear-sized explosions. We're very nicely set up for that. Having the piggy bank before now probably wouldn't really make that much of a difference anyway. It's now that you start to earn like 300 per round that you can really start to take advantage of that compound interest. Yeah, we might need a little more attack speed. When explosions do go off, they absolutely destroy everything. But sometimes the enemies do build up a little more than I'm comfortable with. I guess we do clear them out though. It's more so just a weird discomfort thing. Because this was wave 10 and I think we have extra enemies and so far it's really no problem at all. The biggest problem for me is not getting any elemental damage anywhere here. Okay, we'll take 2 because that's an extra 8%. No elemental damage again. Attack speed we will take. There we go. +4 elemental damage. That by itself is an extra like 16% explosion. And this is an extra 2. So we're actually going to save that. I'm going to re-roll once more, but I need my piggy bank to start going to work for me. So our character bonus is already giving us an extra 50% explosion size. Plus we're getting 25 there, so there's 75 plus another 30 there. So we're getting about 105% explosion size, and it's wave 11. These guys might be a problem because they can take a lot of abuse, but we'll get stronger weapons soon anyway. If we can get more explosion damage, we'll definitely take it. But for now, it might be more so attack speed and explosion size. The faster we can fire, the better. But the explosions are obviously getting pretty big. They're not like taking up the whole screen yet, but they're well on their way. That's what we're looking forward to. Plus, I keep forgetting I have a piggy bank already. Don't really want that. This one's all good. We'll take 15% attack speed though. There's some more elemental damage. There's some more elemental damage. I'm going to re-roll once more. That's going to leave us at about 600. And then I think we're probably just going to move on and let the piggy bank do some things. And now we have bigger explosions again. The big white dot is basically doom. We're just going to keep on using this to just keep on absolutely destroying everyone.
There's no stopping us now. I can feel it.
I didn't bother adding any extra range to this build. Mostly because I never do, but also because it's not really necessary. As long as we're hitting something, we're hitting something else, it's hitting something else, it's hitting something else. Yeah, these explosions are really, really nice. Wheat is normally a very good option, but today it's not. There's 4 elemental damage. We lose enemies. That's probably fine. And plus 15% explosion damage. That's the third one of those we got. The bigger explosion damage is also helping bigly, so these guys are normally quite tough. They're still quite tough, but we're tougher. Our explosions are just melting them so far. And the extra attack speed really, really is helping too. And I've still got like planks that aren't actually hitting anything yet. We're doing this basically with 3 ranged explosives. Things are going to be okay. Our armor and toughness isn't huge yet. We might get a little more HP. Not that it's a big deal. I think we'll be okay. But they can corner you and kill you almost instantly, so that's always a little bit stressful. But that's for me to worry about. I'll handle the stress. You just sit back and watch whatever it is I'm doing. Plus 25% explosion size. $1,267. There's another purple plank, so if we combine those two, we can buy that. We just gotta keep looking out for all the right things. We won't go under $1,000 right now because we're gonna get easy money. We will take 10% attack speed. Pretty soon we're gonna have like a rapid fire nuke launcher. And we're going to save up a little bit of money, but we are going to have to start spending it because rerolls get prohibitively expensive after a while. So it's worthwhile to actually, start spending money. We'll eat up the interest every round, but we'll gain a lot back too. But basically at this point, we're looking for rocket launchers. Also, every increase to explosion size is going to get really, really big because it's already huge. So like imagine adding 10% on top of that or 50% on top of that. It's not hard to do, but look how big it's going to get. This is still only wave 14. Wonder what the bosses are going to think of the explosions. Can't wait to ask them. Okay, we're up to $1,500. Don't want a turret. Don't want any of that. Or that. Can we have elemental? Thank you. Something like the poisonous tonic is tempting because of its 10% attack speed. More so I want there. An extra 25% explosion size. Plus we'll take a plank. That's going to give us a level 4 plank. I'm going to reroll once more, and then we're probably just going to move on. And yes, I probably have looked past several elemental damages. I'm just really in the habit of ignoring them, so that's hard to overcome. Explosions are bigger though. The large white dot you might see somewhere on your screen is basically just things dying. That's the nuclear radius. This is a really fun character. I'm going to enjoy using this one a lot. And nothing's going to be able to stop me ever. 17 seconds left. I think we're gonna win. Might be close though. The explosions are just so stupidly big that like I can stand here and nothing's gonna get anywhere close to me unless they're really tough. Or a projectile. But they're pretty easy to dodge right now. I think things are slower than they're supposed to be though. It feels slow. Or I've had enough coffee to speed me up. 15% attack speed. And then I'm going to actually recycle that. I could have combined those, but I'll take this. Can I have an RPG now, please? 10% attack speed, sure. There's Ricochet. Your projectiles gain 1 bounce. Yeah, that's going to mean extra explosions, isn't it? Okay, there's another Shredder, so we have another level 3 Shredder, which do make a lot of explosions, but an RPG would be better. That's fine if not. We're going to save both of these for next time because that's going to make us obscenely strong too. If our things can also penetrate, because they bounce once, they're going to penetrate and bounce, all while exploding quite often, that's good for us. Really, really bad for the enemies. And at this point, I don't even miss the RPG. Like, it would be fun, but we have so many explosions anyway that it really emphasizes how overpowered this is. Like, our planks are barely touching anything. We don't need those extra explosions. We just want them. I guess with projectiles, though, they are bouncing, so we're getting like 1,000,000 explosions per second. But don't actually count, because I might be estimating on that one. I just realized I wasn't even paying attention to what I just skipped through. Elemental damage. And that brings us up to an even 100% explosion size, based on our character bonuses. And then whatever's in my items, so it's a pretty big explosion now. And they're going off quite often. Flashing white light warning, by the way. We're a little bit late on that. But to be fair, they weren't that bad before. They're still not that bad. It's like a pale white light, but, you know, still a flashing white light. Yeah, it's not super effective against these guys. It obviously still kills them, but it kills everything else in a hurry, because everything's always being hit by explosions currently. We basically made bouncing, penetrating nukes. The white lights are starting to get to me. I might actually have to turn that off or down. I've turned that off for now. We're going to turn it back on in a bit, but that is a lot of white flashing that's going to get to people. Not going to take that. There's elemental damage. It's giving me like everything but what I want. Normally I would love these upgrades, but this time I don't. I want elemental and it just won't give it to me. 3 elemental damage. Finally, our first RPG. So we're going to recycle that and take that. I guess we could have done that a different way. Here we go. 8 elemental damage. That by itself is adding like 32 size. And I'm going to buy that because that's going to give us a level 4. So projectiles simply explode on hit. I've turned explosions on for a sec just to see how big they are. They're getting pretty big. So yeah, once we get too many enemies, I'll turn that off again just so people don't have to see the flashing white light in their face. They do a really good job of not keeping it that bad, but at the rate we're going, we make anything pretty bad. Yeah, as long as there's not a ton of enemies on screen, it's not bad, but there's going to get more. This is one of those builds you just really don't have to take that seriously though. You can just sort of wander around and enjoy the neighborhood without having to really focus on where you're going. Yeah, those are probably taking up, I don't know, more than 1/6 of the screen. Maybe not quite a quarter, but somewhere in between 1/5. But given how many of them there are, we're always exploding something. Don't want a wheelbarrow, don't really want anything there. I do want a rocket launcher, so we're going to combine those two together. Now we're going to get a purple rocket launcher. Let's add more enemies while we're at it. We can go through an additional target too, so we should get extra bouncing penetration. So now we have even bigger explosions and even more than before. I don't even know how many like explosions we're firing all at once. I don't know if our projectiles, well yeah, the Shredder bounces. I don't know if the RPG does. It might just straight up explode. Shredder will bounce and explode. But whatever, I'm not a scientist, I could care less. Everything's exploding in a really big way, so I'm just couldn't be happier about that. 22 seconds left. I didn't realize we're on wave 19 already. That's very sad. I wish there was 100 more waves to go. Think how big these explosions would get. Because they're not taking up the entire screen, but like they're taking up a significant portion of it. Like basically, if we're firing in any direction, every enemy in that direction is probably dying. Spawn more trees, yes please. 1 elemental damage. I mean, I won't complain because we've gotten really good luck so far. Forgot I had that locked, and we're re-rolling, not really getting much of anything. We could get a bigger RPG. I guess we might as well, because rolls are just going to get expensive. There's another 2 elemental. I'm probably going to get a million comments. We can't quite get that one. That would have been so good. But we've already got a million of those kind of upgrades, so... Time for the big explosions. Yeah, those, not quite half the screen, but like, obviously it's pretty big. Doesn't do a ton of damage to the boss, but it's going to take out everything else on screen. And I'm sure you've all seen enough of the white flashing light by now, so I'm just going to turn the explosions off visually. They're still happening, things are dying, but we don't need to see the white flashing light. Even the damage is still pretty good for the boss. Like, it's not melting him like some of our builds do, but it's definitely killing him adequately quick. Okay, that almost killed me. I was checking something else, and we died. But we had big explosions, so that's all that really matters.